Carolina Panthers take on the Lions, who may trigger a remix to a classic if they keep it up. How about It's So Hot in the D?
Watch Sewell turn his body away from the hole, and Montgomery easily gets in.
Did the NFL just witness a statement-made kind of game from Dan Campbell and the boys? Panthers walking into what will be a frenzied Ford Field. Bryce Young better bring his sword and shield, too. It's going to feel like the Coliseum. Not the one in L.A., the one with, actual lions.
Goff, deep again, wide open, making the grab and taking it in is St. Brown.
Yeah, Maximus, we are in fact entertained. Detroit scored 34 points last week, yet so much of the credit goes to their defense, starting there again this week. Panthers' O-line has to be on top of its game. Detroit's pass rush sacked Jordan Love 5 times, hit him 11.
They've got a couple tight ends that are in to try to help out, but he just bull rushes. I don't know how Love held onto that football with Bugs trying to knock that away from him.
The Lions pressured Love over 40% of the time, while only blitzing him less than 5% of the time. That's a rare split. They've blitzed less than 20% of dropbacks in 2023, yet have a pressure rate in the high 30s.
Love hopping around, fires that one away and almost had it picked off.
Carolina's tackles and guards have to try and keep America from having to see the stanky leg.
Aiden Hutchinson. Boy, did he come alive last week.
Aiden Hutchinson moves around so everyone gets a taste. 3.5 sacks on the year, 1.5 last week. If you've watched him, he's turning into a one-man wrecking crew.
Here they use a little twist, move him back to the inside, and he beats John Runyon, 2 Michigan guys going head-to-head.
Problem for Carolina's big uglies, he's not a one-man band. Defensive end Charles Harris, 2 QB hits versus Green Bay. Defensive tackle Aleem McNeil, sack last week, has 2 for the year. Defensive tackle John Kaminsky, ditto.
Love could not get away. You got Hutchinson getting in there, and then Kaminsky comes in to wrap it up.
The Lions are expecting to feast on Young. He took 5 sacks last week. 1 ended up being housed for a TD.
Young being tracked down, the ball comes out, and it's picked up by Wanham. DJ Wanham!
Another ended Carolina's hopes of extending the game, so potential mismatch.
Young, sack from behind, and that'll do it.
As we pointed out, when Young lets it fly, he's going to be doing so against a 7-man secondary most downs, so to speak. And the rookie hasn't had a blow-up game yet. He did go 25 of 32 last week, only 204 yards, but no picks. He did crack the 90 rating barrier.
Young to pass, scanning, stepping up, throws, and he hits sharp into Minnesota territory.
Lions secondary will focus its attention on 2 receivers. Adam Thielen, 7 catches, over 70 yards last week. Back-to-back big outings for him.
Throws, and it's caught for the first down by Thielen.
Terrace Marshall, 56 yards, 10 targets week 4, 9 catches versus Minnesota.
Young to throw again, and again it's complete. It's Marshall this time, and another first down.
Detroit has held quarterbacks to under 7 yards per attempt to a sub-90 rating. Cornerback Jerry Jacobs had a rough couple games, then picked Jordan Love off twice last week. Detroit held him to a sub-70 rate as a result.
2nd and 5, Love coming to his left, has that picked off at the 5-yard line.
Cornerback Cameron Sutton has yet to be dinged. Track slot cornerback Brian Branch's status. He hurt his ankle last week. He's looked good as a rookie. And cornerback Emmanuel Mosley and safety Kirby Joseph are also injured. They also hope to get them back. And yet still, when it comes to Thielen and Marshall, Detroit has held wide receivers to a mid-80s rating.
Very, very close. He gets that ball in there. They were man-to-man on the outside. Jerry Jacobs matched up against the rookie.
Carolina hasn't cracked 18 points in 3 of their 4 games, and it's not just the passing game they need more from. They would love to see any kind of life from their run game. Miles Sanders, 19 yards, 13 carries last week. He's been a free agent bust so far. Their line's somewhat to blame. Chuba Hubbard last week, he only hit for 2.9.
Pass rush coming, and it cuts down the run as Hubbard gets the carry, a 1-yard loss.
Sanders and Hubbard are going up against a tough run defense. Lions have held runners to just 3 per run, barely faced any tokes versus Green Bay.
Look at that defense. Branch right there takes the quarterback, and there's nowhere to go after this pitch.
Panthers defense seems to have pressure to keep it close. They face a Lions offense that uses a balanced attack. It does start with the run as a way to set Jared Goff up for some good old-fashioned play action. Carolina's defense therefore setting its sights on David Hannah Montana Montgomery.
On the ground, through the middle, there he goes again. Montgomery for 6.
Montgomery came back from his injury like a wrecking ball, Never hit a defense so hard in the end zone in this case. 3 touchdowns last week, over 120 rushing yards, most the physical kind. He's scored in all 3 games he's played.
Big hole, left side, in for the touchdown. David Montgomery.
Panthers have to worry about the change-ups too. Khalif Raymond, 40-yard sweep, for example. Or Jahmyr Gibbs runs, 5 yards per on his 8 attempts week 3.
Give it to Gibbs on a draw, and the rookie close to a first should have it.
Panthers gave up 5.6 a run to Alexander Madison, 8 per carry to Cam Akers, so they better figure some things out this week.
Akers again, stutter step. Akers across the 40.
Lions air game, gonna get a splash of Jameson. That always livens things up. The speedy wide receiver Williams, suspension is over. He joins a Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, Sam Laporta joint. Goff has picks in back-to-back games, a little unlike him, but after the one he threw last week, he was pretty fresh and so clean. Has a rating close to 100 for the year.
Goff back, looking deep downfield. Got a man wide open. It is Sam Laporta. Touchdown, Detroit Lions.
Yeah! Almost!
Reynolds, 60-plus yards in week 3, 60-plus in 3 of their 4. He played hurt in 1.
Whoa, reaching out, making the grab. Josh Reynolds, great catch.
Laporta, 50-plus yards versus Green Bay, 50-plus in 3 straight games.
Goff retreats, fires over the middle, caught on the run, and that is Sam Laporta.
The star of the group, St. Brown, the slot guy, 200-yard games so far, all 4 over 50. He scored last week, his 2nd of the year.
Little slip, man-to-man, goes down, an easy read.
Panthers secondary just faced a star wide receiver, gave up 2 TDs to Justin Jefferson.
Cousins to the end zone. It is caught. Jefferson for another touchdown.
Overall, though, Carolina's DBs have held wide receivers to a mid-70s rate. They picked off Kirk Cousins twice last week, have held QBs overall to a low 80s rating.
Cousins throws, picked off, and it could be trouble up the far sideline. Sam Franklin.
Panthers looking for win number 1, Lions wanting to make sure they aren't that team. Anyone brave enough to call for a Carolina upset, take to the comments section, and don't forget, stream live games on mobile, NFL RedZone, NFL Network, and more on NFL Plus. Panel of 10, what do you got?